Let me give you more reasons to follow the homie Sil for the latest news, scoops, and moves he's about to reveal. From coffee talks to special brews, I'm out of burgers for meals. A cup of bourbon with that tea that's about to get spilled. Like, what's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard, yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in, we need to know. Your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go, take out your pen and paper, sit down and take notes. Sil is the realest among imposters, scavenging cutthroats. So, what's the latest word, yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard, yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in, we need to know. Your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One of a show, let's go. Between DC and Marvel, they both have a startle. Disney's moving finicky, let's not mention Star Wars. All these movie execs be drunk off their power, disconnected from the fans in the ivory towers. What's the latest word, yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard, yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, walking out, buying in, we need to know. Your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. When they keep making the same mistake, that's what you call insanity. They can't even acknowledge the self-inflicted calamity. What's the latest word, yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard, yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, walking out, buying in, we need to know. Your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One of a show, let's go. Scoop Senator, Coffee Talks, also covering analytics, making his own reviews, cause it's always been the critics. They clout chasers, money driven, repeating the latest gimmick. Come over to Sil Nation where true vision is given. Listen, what's the latest word, yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard, yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in, we need to know. Your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. Let's not forget Mikey's son, always special to the crew. From day one when him and Sil got together for special brew. What's the latest word, yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard, yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in, we need to know. Your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One of a show, let's go. I guess I'll finish on this note. When the niggas go flip mode, they turn gremlins, I'm Gizmo. Come for my people, my kinfolk. For them I ride for and kill for. With this till I'm skillful, it can really escalate till it all goes abysmal. What's the latest word, yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard, yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in, we need to know. Your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. I'm a watchman, forever vigilant, steady watching and listening, disciplined, militant, killing these dudes that started visiting. What's the latest word, yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard, yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in, we need to know. Your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One of a show, let's go.
What's good? What's good? This is a bonus stream Sunday night. We had a shortened weekly show yesterday for Saturday morning. So we had to come here and hit y'all with another one right now, because there's a couple of topics I wanted to touch on. I have time yesterday, and some new stories kind of popped up as well. Outside of the Lanterns fiasco, we covered that pretty well yesterday with the Lanterns and what's going to happen. As far as the big spoiler with that was very interesting. I dodged all copyright strikes with that, so I'm getting better at dodging that. But also, too, a little update on Man of Tomorrow. We want to talk about DC at Comic-Con a little bit further if we get to it. And then, too, the main story is James Gunn and Peter Safran have been voted the losers of the year. That's not my words. This is what the industry is saying about DC Studios, Gunn and Safran. This is a pop-up bonus stream. So as y'all find it, come on in. I see Music City in the chat. I see Chubby Teddy as well. What's good with you? Biggest losers. We're going to talk about it. I felt like before my week gets started, I got to get this on wax, because I'm going to get busy during the weekdays. I still got to do some stuff for the Patreons and everything like that. So, Baz Reeves, I see you in the chat. We're on YouTube. So I know the deal on YouTube. We need engagement. We need y'all to smash the like. We need you to comment. Make sure you subscribe as well. But the main thing is that you're here and you're commenting and even share the video. Cigar Gangster, what's good? I'm catching some of the OGs. Well, I'll be streaming too early for y'all. Now we got a night stream. We got to build in a nighttime stream. I'm seeing it. Shin, what's good? I see you in the chat. We may got to work in like a nighttime stream. Now, I know in UK, it's probably past your bedtime over there in UK. It's like past midnight, right? So I don't know. You just have the phone, just have the audio on, if you will. All right. Yeah, some of y'all, I'll see y'all during the day. So this is cool. I may got do some nighttime streams, man. Y'all know how we do. Chubby Teddy talk about pie in the face, Gunn, and Safran. You either going to be humble or be humbled. That's what's up. Mr. J in the chat, Sil Nation representing for sure. Bass Reeves, I see you. Typical WBL losers of the year. We definitely going to talk about that again. Shout out to the support on YouTube. It's just getting hotter and hotter every week with these weekend streams. Not really clapback Sunday. The Shield Elite clapback is coming. It is coming, but I got some stories I want to get touch on first before we do the full clapback with the Shield Elites, because they came at me, bro. They all came. I was like, oh, this is a coordinated attack. Yo, but just going to sleep. Yeah, I feel you. Also, too, we are on X Twitter. The best thing you could do if you're watching this on X Twitter is just share the stream. Also, comment under it as well. That's much appreciated. But share the stream, retweet it, let people know what you're watching, and comment on what you feel. The standard for Zach should be the same for Gunn. Hey, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, Zach should have got a little more rope. And actually, Zach was going to Zack Snyder adjusted after BVS. That's the story gets lost, right? All the time. Zack Snyder saw, okay, BVS was too scary for y'all. Some of y'all over there. I love it. That's my favorite CBM ever to this day. BVS, that's the best experience I had in the theater with a CBM film. BVS. You get to that third act, warehouse scene, Doomsday, everything. Just, yes. Wonder Woman entrance, Trinity moment. I mean, come on now. Like, it's so much. They did the Death of Superman. Like, this is insane. BVS is the greatest CBM film experience I've ever had. And that scares some of the borderline Marvel people out there. We're understanding there's a difference. As I said before, and this upsetted some people, but I hope y'all realize by now, after 6 years of doing this, I don't care if you get upset, okay? We're the real DC fans, Snyder fans. We held down DC in the face of critics and online campaigns, Jeff Johns, adjacent people. We held down Man of Steel. That's why 13 years later, people are still rediscovering Man of Steel. Like, oh, that was a dope Superman film. See, if we would have left it to die, like they're going to do Supergirl, no one will be talking about Man of Steel right now. It's because of us. We are the real DC fans, and I don't care if that hurts your feelings. And then we obviously held down BVS. We already know. And we made sure that made more than $1 billion once it got to digital, physical release, right? So, yes, we have held down DC better than any fandom, any section of this fandom. So what we say is goes. If it's dope, we'll say it's dope. If we're not feeling it, and overwhelmingly, y'all that seen Supergirl, I still haven't seen Supergirl. That's how crazy this is. I haven't seen it yet. But collectively, we're saying Supergirl wasn't it. And you see it's a bottom 3 DC performer ever. But even though BVS scared people, Zack Snyder still adjusted and came out with Zack Snyder's Justice League, and where the critics was like, hey, this is actually dope. And you already know the audience loves it. So Zack Snyder course corrected on the fly. It just, unfortunately, the tragedy with Autumn and them bringing in Jeff Johns and John Berg, Hamada and all them was messing with Zack. It was just a tough time for his family. But he was about to give y'all what y'all wanted, the critical opinion and the audience unified. This unified the DC audience. If we remember in 2020, DC Fandom, That's the last time the fandom was united. The Snyder Cut was coming out. Reeves was doing his Batman. Even goofy James Gunn had the Suicide Squad over there in the corner over there where it belongs. If you like that campy crap, that's for you over there. But the ultimate DC fans and general audience, they were ready for Zack Snyder's Justice League, and Zack Snyder delivered. And he unified. And it's talking about making money. It blew up servers worldwide. So they got that streaming revenue from Zack Snyder's Justice League up to this day. That's why Zaslav never, all these other streamers, Amazon and everyone, they want to get DC projects over there. Amazon Prime wanted BVS Ultimate Edition, and they wanted the Snyder Cut. And Zaslav held off on giving them the Snyder Cut. He said, "No, this is the original on HBO Max." So they know you have a hit with Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it's clear, right? It's very clear overall. What we got in the chat here? Finally seen the light. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to eventually see Supergirl. I mean, at this rate that it's going, according to the numbers, it had like a nearly 80% drop the second weekend, I believe. And you see the most uncomfortable picture ever on the red carpet premiere of Supergirl. You got Craig Gillespie all the way over there. You got James Gunn completely on the other side. He got as far away from Gunn as possible. Craig Gillespie, he has escaped this as unscathed as possible for a bomb. I've never seen someone get so just clear cut away where no one's blaming Craig Gillespie at all. At first, some of you guzzlers and glazers, y'all were trying to throw Gillespie under the bus. Y'all trying to throw the writer under the bus. But everyone's like, nah, this on James Gunn. Okay, this is on James Gunn. And then the bombshell came out, right? Confirming James Gunn hijacked Supergirl, where he took over the editing. They had a 9-day reshoot of original footage for the Gunn cut, and the Gunn cut was released, and that is the bottom 3 DC film ever. It's on James Gunn. So with Supergirl, again, you had the 80% drop. You had 70% drop for this third weekend. So it's about time to pull Supergirl out of theaters. And I think at this point, you're talking about going digital probably next week, because they lost half their theaters. They're tired. The theaters are tired of Supergirl. They're tired of screening this film. They're like, we ain't making no money. It's taking up space. We got to get ready for the Odyssey and Spider-Man. Get this on out of here, right? So you drop 80% second weekend, 70% third weekend, it's over. Right? It's over. So you go digital, and I'm thinking by the end of the month, they'll probably announce it's coming to HBO Max. That's probably when I'll see Supergirl. I'm not going to buy it digital. I'm not going to rent it digitally or anything like that. Just once it's on HBO Max for free, then I will check it out. See, there were talks of Keaton Batman doing Batman Beyond. Yeah, I never forget that. I talk about that all the time. Suicide Squad in the corner where it belongs. This DCU has been trash. And what I really love, because I was so short on time yesterday, I want to acknowledge a lot of new viewers finding this platform having the same story as me, right? That we were going to give everything DC a chance. Because again, I can't speak for everyone. There's some people who's like, hey, like I always like to point this out. I told you Gunn would fail. Hey, all respect to y'all. Y'all have every right to have that stance. There are many like me that say, hey, we're going to give this new iteration a chance and just see if it comes with the goods. And I had countless messages from the last video. Those that was thinking like me, that I was like, they were like, hey, Zack Snyder does the most epic DC ever. And I gave James Gunn a chance, and it's just not landing. It's just not landing. Like, we actually tried to have an open mind. and it just didn't land for a whole segment of DC fans. And they're starting to speak up and be like, nah, we don't have to guzzle and glaze everything. If it ain't landing, it's not landing. So it was really nice to see those comments that last video, and I didn't have a chance to acknowledge it. So I just want to make sure I acknowledge it on this stream, because we got to be open about this, man. As DC fans, we want the best. If Gunn came out and he hired like some dope directors and writers and they were just killing it, then I would have gave Gunn the props. Like, hey, you know, you're bringing the heat and DC's dope. You know, I mean, Gunn, the first thing Gunn should have did, he should have brought in Zack Snyder. I'll be honest with you. The first thing Gunn should have did. He should be like, you know what, let's get a Justice League film out there. Let me facilitate this, release the air cut, ZSJL 2, maybe even 3 back-to-back, and then go do your goofy stuff, Gunn. Because, see, you would have had that equity with DC fans, like, okay, you completed the story, you get it, and then you still could do your goofy stuff. And we could ignore it. We could be like, that's whack. But you still would have had points on a Zack Snyder film. See, people, they don't think this through enough. You could have had a win-win, James Gunn. You chose to do a fake reboot, which isn't a real reboot, because you kept all your characters, and it's blowing up in your face, rightfully so. So, that Green Lantern news was crazy, right? That Green Lantern news was crazy. There can only be one. They meant what they said. There's only going to be one. See, you thought they were just going to share the ring. But it's like, no, I do one better. How about we just eliminate one of them? Because there's only going to be one. That was crazy. That was a bombshell leak. They were striking down channels and people that came out with that leak, you know, openly, because it's true. I was told it was true before all the madness happened. It was that, you know, I checked with some people that was like, yeah, that's a real leak. Often Hal Jordan, episode 1. Now he's still gonna be in flashbacks where he's, they're looking back at his past, but it's not longtime fans of Hal Jordan. See, I'm fine with both of them, Hal Jordan and John Stewart. But to take out Hal Jordan so prematurely with no future in the DCU is definitely a misstep of the lore, just of the DC universe. You take out Hal, but you have Guy Gardner. You know what I'm saying? So you can have multiple lanterns. You're sure you can have multiple lanterns. You just say, let's just diss Hal Jordan. You know, you should have killed Guy Gardner. If you're going to take out somebody, you're like, what? So it's not about, we can't have more than one lantern. You do have more than one lantern. But you take out Hal Jordan. So those that were, again, looking forward to this depiction, it could be an older Hal. That's cool. But they don't have a chance to really see him developed or fleshed out. I feel that's a huge misstep. There's people out there saying, hey, maybe he'll come back, as Parallax or something. I'm not giving James Gunn that much credit to be that smart, or Damon Lindelof or anyone attached to this Lantern series to be that smart to say, we could bring Hal Jordan back like this. No. It's over. It's over. Supergirl of the Galaxy. That's wild. That's wild right there. Supergirl of the Galaxy. And a lot of y'all, shout out to y'all picked this up really early with the promotion of the Supergirl film. Y'all was like, this feels like Guardians. The aesthetic is right there. And then we find out Gunn, he directly edited the film to be like Guardians. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. So it's finally stop defending Gunn's DCU. Oh, shots. No, I give credit where it's due. Preacher Commandos, because again, I mostly probably represent a segment of people that had an open mind about this. And I made no mistake about that, about those that just flatly rejected everything. But we all can coexist here, with that. But I gave Preacher Commandos a chance. I knew no one watched it. There was some good Easter eggs in there. Superman, it didn't totally bomb out. It wasn't a huge profit though. And so my stance has always been, let's see what the numbers actually are. Then I can stand on the data, right? A lot of people was like, oh, y'all wanted to be Superman to be a DOA day one. And it actually wasn't. It made over 100 million opening weekend. It got over his profit number. His profit number was 560. It got to 619. I didn't believe the whole Ohio tax sheet thing that it cost 300, 400 million to make that. So I know I'm going to stand on the actual data. And so now in hindsight, people see, I'm just going to go off the information there. Y'all do what y'all want to do out there. If y'all want to run with spotty stories and spotty numbers, and just because you want to dunk on James Gunn, that's fine. You go right ahead. It's just me and my platform. I don't have the luxury to just run with every rumor and just be like, oh, see, it costs 400 million. I have no credibility, right? And then you have some on Twitter, and they happen to be, they call themselves Snyder fans. They don't care about credibility. Some of them, they don't. And that's just a different lane. They have their lane. They want to troll hard. Go right ahead. But I can't come up here and be like, oh, it lost $100 million. It really didn't. Superman didn't. But it definitely wasn't enough. And then whatever good equity they thought they had with Superman, they lost in the Peacemaker season 2. The numbers show that. They lost viewership. And then Supergirl, my goodness, it bombed. And that really woke up a lot of DC fans that had an open mind. And it was like, nah, this ain't it. This ain't it. Gunn shooting blanks. Sure, for sure. And hey, this man said, I think you can stream Super Skank. No, I mean, no, I won't have a chance to catch it in theaters, Chubby Teddy. Like it's about to be pulled. So I think just when it comes to HBO Max, I'll check it out. I'll eventually check it out, and I'll get my review when I check it. Probably next month, and I'll check it out. But I was planning on seeing the film, and the marketing talked me out of seeing it. Like the clips they were coming out with, and just the spotty editing, and learning from people that saw it early. They said, yeah, that's how choppy this film is. I was like, I don't have no desire to to make a night out of this, And so I just never got around to seeing it, man. But we'll see. I'm going to see the Odyssey. I still gotta go see Moana live action, Spider-Man. There's films I'm going to definitely go see in theaters. This didn't seem like one to see as a priority, and seems like I made the right choice. It seems like I made the right choice with that. I thought there would be an end credit scene at the end of Supergirl where she shows up, talking about her body count, what she brings to the table. That's wild. Yeah, they pulled it. There was a end credit scene filmed. I don't know the details of that scene. I'm assuming it was going to connect to, Man of Tomorrow, but it was pulled in the 11th hour. After the latest tracking came in before the film came out, they decided not to have an end credit scene. Almost like to keep it cleanly, not connected to nothing. Like if it dies, it dies. It's out there by itself, right? So that is what it is. With that, Hal Jordan is my Green Lantern. I grew up watching him in the animated series. Yeah, he had his own. Emerald Knights is the dopest. It's like this. It's almost like an anthology type thing, or it's like different stories. I love that project, Emerald Knights, and it all kind of connects to the end. It's like different episodes. Like it shows Kilowog's backstory. It shows different characters and different lanterns, and that's DC. You have the ultimate like space opera IP, lanterns, Green Lanterns. But according to James Gunn, they want a terrestrial story. That's his quote. You want a terrestrial story, and then they're going to try to shoe in some galactic stuff towards, at the end. But I think it's going to look cheap in Lanterns. So he totally dropped the ball with the DC brand. But Emerald Knights is so dope. I could watch that over and over. And like you said, they act like Hal and John can't coexist. There's different comic runs. Green Lantern Earth 1, they're all together in that comic in the main lines. Like it's silly. It really is silly that they couldn't have them coexist. You don't got to job anyone to make John Stewart look dope. John Stewart's his own character, and he's going to stand out on his own. I don't got to take out Hal for John Stewart to look good. We never needed that. And so I don't buy their reasoning. And again, if you're going to take out a Lantern, you should have sacrificed Guy Gardner. I'm just saying. So I agree with you. You know what, Sil? Sometimes I butter my bread. I put peanut butter on my sandwich, but you know what? That's what makes me human. That's wild. I see Carlos in the chat. How can you ask people to get invested into something you didn't finish, air? That should have been Gunn's first call. He signs on, and let's just take everything like, okay, Black Adam failed. Okay, because we would have got the last ride to Snyderverse on the heels of Black Adam. Whether people think The Rock will be spotty or not, I'm not going to get into that conversation. He brought back Cavill for a reason. He wanted the Snyderverse. But again, that was mishandled. All that was mishandled. But let's say Black Adam fails. You hire James Gunn. He should be like, okay, let's get Cavill, Man of Steel 2. That's actually been the first thing. Cavill, go ahead and do Man of Steel 2. Now, the Superman that I'm writing, that still could have been an Elseworld. That still could have been an Elseworld thing. That's why Gunn wasn't thinking. He thought I had to kill all these Superman projects. Superman and Lois, you got to go. Henry Cavill Superman, you're gone. No, people would have. I think people would have accepted Gunn in his little corner over there. Do your Super Family Saga. Go ahead. Go crazy. Justice Gang. We got Justice League over here. And I think all this could have coexisted, man. Just like, again, DC Fandom 2020 was the best representation of how DC could be. You had Zack Snyder's Justice League. You had Matt Reeves' Batman at the same time. So that means you had Ben Affleck Batman at the same time. You had the Suicide Squad. All this was going on at the same time. And no one was confused. They knew, okay, Reeves Batman, you're over there, Batfleck's over here. No one was confused. The general audience, they realize there's different takes of the stuff. So I just think, Gunn, I think the first thing, after Black Adam didn't work, just say, hey, just do your Man of Steel 2. Don't connect it to Black Adam at all. Right? If we're just done with the Black Adam IP, then just have that separate from it. Right? That's how I feel. Now, real quick, as we do these live streams, as I mentioned, we want to keep these things ad-free. But what we need from y'all is the support by a form of either a super chat, stream elements. That will help as far as to keep this stream ad-free. So let me throw up the goal right here. Ad-free live stream, I should say. Because when you come back on replay, it's going to, whatever, if you have ads or if you have premium, you don't have ads. But for the live crew, we want to keep this ad free. So let me just put that in real quick as the goal. Keep stream ad free. Y'all do y'all thing with that. Much appreciated. We're going back through the chat here because I missed a lot of y'all comments yesterday because I had to speed through the stream. So I want to take my time and connect to y'all in the chat. Before we get to the topics, the losers of the year, James Gunn, Peter Safran. Now we know there's only one. Oh, man. It's only one. Oh, my goodness. So we got to go right off the top ropes. Carlos came in. Now we know why Brolin turned down the role, right? Because if you have, that's a great point. A couple of years ago, yeah, Josh Brolin, they wanted him for the role, and I think they wanted Ewan McGregor as well. And again, this could have been a fluid thing where they're like, well, we could option a film, but we'll see. But if your plan was only to have him for one season, kill him off episode 1 and have his back, flashbacks for the rest of the season, and that's it, I see why they turned it down. Like, what? I can't get no movie option? I can't get nothing? You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I understand why people turned that role down. Great point right there, Carlos, because now that's becoming very clear overall. And Kyle Chandler was like, I just, whatever I can get, man, I need to work, right? He begged.
Begged. Like a dog.
Don't do Kyle Chandler like that. Don't do him like that. But that's probably what happened. Begged like a dog. Good stuff. Appreciate you, Carlos, for the support. So we hit our marker like that, and really like every 30 to 60 minutes, we would need support to again keep that stream ad free. If the support's not there, we got to run those ads, and that kind of is what it is. I think y'all understand. So we have Cigar Gangster here. Glad to be attending the live stream for a change. Are you here, Cigar Gangster? Shout out to you. You support on this channel. You support Patreon. More Patreon stuff to come. Link in the description. I still got to catch up with the X-Men episodes, My Adventures with Superman, and other bonus content. Patreon only. That's a separate platform. And then there will be bonus content for YouTube members as well. That's all separate. So shout out to you, Cigar Gangster. And we talking about the losers of the year, Cigar Gangster. And they thought, out there, they thought James Gunn was the king. They thought he was going to lead them to the future.
Is this your king? Huh? Is this your king? Who's supposed to lead you into the future? Him? He's supposed to protect you.
You see all the Glazers, they didn't like that. All the Glazers, they like, that's supposed to be our king? Supposed to lead them to the future. Oh, they thought, it was a new day. DCU. The critics love James Gunn. All the stuff they were talking about, these guzzlers again. I was one of the people that had an open mind. But you got to come with the goods, right? And when you really fail, when there's a real L, you can't hide from it, right? We're not letting this go. Losers of the year. We're going to talk about that some more. Shout out to you, Cigar Gangster, always. Let's see. Let's catch up what y'all saying. It's crazy. And I'm going to try to highlight a lot of the members' comments as well. The suit the girl puts on straight from Guardians. Are you talking about Supergirl? I keep hearing about that. We got My Superman 78 in the chat. Bring back DC fandom for sure, for sure. Supergirl bombed so hard it violated the Geneva Convention. Dang. That's rough. That's rough right there, man. That's rough. Hashtag fire James Gunn. That's the energy that we own, man. That's the energy that we own. Good stuff, good stuff. Let's start getting to these topics here. Again, I wanted to make sure I was connecting with y'all in the chat because yesterday I had to speed through a lot of stuff. So we touched on a few things. So I'm glad we were able to talk about Lanterns a little bit more, how that failed. But this is I guess this is like it's not really like a breaking news, but it's like a new supposed rumor, or maybe it's real out there. Man of Tomorrow, a sighting on set. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, is that Adria girl? Is she gonna be Maxima or Wonder Woman?" And I continue to hold to the fact that I don't think James Gunn can use Wonder Woman, and I don't think he can use Batman at all. This is a super family saga. Maxima fits into that super saga. And so I didn't expect Wonder Woman at all. From the beginning, I believe the report of Maxima will be the character that's right up James Gunn's alley. It just makes sense if she's Maxima, right? Very low risk, low reward type of character. And that's pretty much what James Gunn has been doing. And that's what I heard immediately, that she was Maxima. Some people tried to come out recently, people that's like, I don't know if they're scoopers now, just like random internet people. They were like, oh, I heard that she's Wonder Woman. So I was like, oh, I can't wait to when Maxima's confirmed. Oh man, y'all gonna be added to the list. Because all these people, I just see like these guzzlers, all of a sudden they scoopers now, saying, I heard she's Wonder Woman. Like, okay, hey, if you get your win, you get your win. But when you lose, you're gonna hear about it. You're gonna hear about your losses. So this report here, Maxima may have been spotted on set of Man of Tomorrow. This is a picture of Maxima. She also had she popped up on the Superman animated series, I think a couple of times. She's from a different planet. She was on the Smallville as well too. I think she popped up on Smallville, and she wants to find the perfect mate. She has strength and everything too, and she finds a Kryptonian, Kal-El. So she's like, oh, we got to smash. And, he's like, nah. And so that's a whole story with that. So, of course, James Gunn is going to have this story. There's no way it's Wonder Woman. Like this is James Gunn written all over it. Just the concept of this character. Now, it's a lesser known character. You're talking about D-list. The general audience doesn't know it. So Gunn's going to probably throw his wrinkles. But he's going to keep that, the part that she's horny. He's going to keep that. I'm pretty sure. Like, I don't think Gunn doesn't miss on those opportunities. So she has to be Maxima. Now, saying Adria Arjona was cast in the Man of Tomorrow. The trades even said it was Maxima. But there's been rumors that she could be Wonder Woman. Now, I've said for the longest, she should have been Wonder Woman. See, that's the thing. It's like, it's not about what I want. It's about, what the facts are. If you're casting her, you should have gave her Wonder Woman. But I just don't believe Gunn could do Wonder Woman, and he can't pass up this opportunity to have a horny story. I'm just saying. I don't see Gunn pass. I just don't see it. So it's like, is this for kids anymore? Is any of this super fat like this punk rock? It's supposed to be punk rock. This ain't for kids with the Maxima. So that's interesting. Let me see something here. It says, remember when we said he got demoted from gods and monsters to Superman saga? Yep. People so cool is saying, why not start with the Trinity? He can't. He can't. He can't do it. So I just never bought into the Wonder Woman stuff, man. DC orgy coming. Yeah, Gunn's the type he would cast his wife so he could see her with Superman. That's what Gunn's into, stuff like that, bro. It's crazy. He hooked up his wife with his friend John Cena. Anyway. It says here, we may not be able to put these theories to rest, though he doesn't specify whether it's actually Arjona. Atlanta Filming, this is an outlet, believes he may have seen Maxima on set. We have no idea what we're supposed to be looking at in the photo he shared. The photographer says he spotted a mysterious woman with red hair wearing a red dress and shoulder pads. That's Maxima. Just he freaked the outfit a little bit. Red hair is a dead giveaway, right? And again, Gunn's going to take some liberties, because no one knows the character outside of the hardcore geeks. Again, it mentions she's a powerful alien. This photo, I don't know what he's seeing. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what we're seeing in this photo right here. This is not a good photo at all. Let's see. Let me see if I can get a better. I don't know what he's seeing right here. It's like everyone's like squinting online. Supposedly, this is someone with red hair and a red dress. I'm not seeing he's supposed to have shoulder pads, or she's supposed to have shoulder pads. Yeah, I'm not seeing no evidence. but we are just going off of, taking their word for it. But yeah, that's not the best. Let me see if I can blow this up some. Actually, it's not even worth it because you can't see anything. So this may be an L. Let's see, it's over there in Atlanta, Man of Tomorrow. And supposedly that's evidence, but I don't know. I don't know about that one, bro. You need to take a better picture if you're trying to break a story, bro. Because that ain't it. But just going off his description, he's saying red hair, red dress. What do we think? Do we think he's bugging? Or did he really see Maxima? The recovery was good. It says, what's up, Sil? What killed me is that how they made Superman's parents evil and sent Superman to conquer. Russell Crowe was so epic in Man of Steel, so much better. And we hear these testimonies over and over. DC fans around the world, they're like, man, like Zack did it so dope. We understand BVS scared people. They were scared. It was too real. It was too real for people. But now we can compare. We had over a year to compare James Gunn's Superman to Man of Steel, and just it's a jarring difference. A couple weeks ago, I got a chance I sat down, I watched Superman 2025 again. The replay value is not there for me with that film, but I watched it again all the way through. And again, it has its comic book moments. Then I watched Man of Steel right after it. And HBO Max is probably wrong for suggesting Man of Steel after you watch Superman 2025. They're like, okay, here's a better Superman film. And Man of Steel, just from top to bottom, it's just superior. Just cinematography, story, action, performances. It's just very clear. I don't see anyone out there truly, even the Glazers, I don't think they can say with a straight face, oh, yeah, Superman 2025 is so much better than Man of Steel. Most of them are saying, hey, I kind of like Man of Steel. But this is Superman we wanted, punk rock, and he's so kind and good. It's like, nah, put that up next to Man of Steel, it's no comparison. It's really no comparison. Shout out to you, The Recovery. Appreciate the super chat. So what we saying? I can't see anything in this picture, right? So that's one thing. I can't see a thing. Let's see. Maxima Lust storyline, a children's movie. James Kelly, Gunn Kelly, right on the nose.
I'm fighting for my life.
Definitely restore the Snyderverse now. Yeah, he needed a better picture right there. If you're gonna break a story, yeah, you gotta give us a better picture. I'm just gonna go off his description. Saying if someone with red hair, red dress, shoulder pads, that's Maxima, what he's describing. But I don't see it. I don't see it right here. Maxima hires Brainiac to help her smash Superman. That's going to be the plot of the movie. Will Maxima smash Superman? Oh, my goodness. Like, what is this for? Who is the audience for this? Who really is? That's so on the nose for James Gunn. Like, I could fold this into a Superman film. Horny aliens. Oh boy, it's insane. Yeah, terrible photo. So, but again, just going off his description, I'm gonna give him that and say, hey, maybe that's what he saw. We need a better picture, bro. Do better, okay? So that's interesting in itself. And so this is the problem. Kind of get into this loser of the year thing that we're talking about with James Gunn. And again, if he has Wonder Woman in the film, James Gunn, you should have already announced that, because that would actually have a segment of people like, oh, this is exciting. You got the Trinities, one of the Trinity members. We're almost there. You don't hide that. You actually say, hey, we cast her and she's Wonder Woman. That's what I feel. That's just like casting your Clark Kent, Superman, your Lois. You cast all the Justice Gang people and you announced it. Maxima's, again, an unknown character to people. So you don't announce Maxima, but you announce Wonder Woman. So it's going to be an L on James Gunn if she ends up being Wonder Woman. But the problem with Gunn, when we're talking about fire James Gunn, as I said recently, fire James Gunn it's an overarching thing. It's not simply get rid of Gunn because we want the Snyderverse. That's a separate thing. As I said, I've been saying this for years now. Zack Snyder will do DC again, one way or another. Gunn could have came out and made $1 billion with Superman, and I still would have believed Zack Snyder would do more DC. So it's not like an either or type thing. When I say fire James Gunn, because his DC sucks. Okay, like this is DC that I grew up a lifelong DC fan. Those are the main comics I read. Outside of Spider-Man and X-Men, it was all DC growing up. And so we want to see DC do well. A large segment of us wanted to see DC do well. And when you're pump faking, half baking a reboot, just bringing your characters back, your Superman did not, it's not an overwhelmingly box office success. People checked out on your Peacemaker season 2. Some were grossed out early with the orgy stuff. So the viewership plummeted with Peacemaker season 2. Supergirl's a bottom 3 performer ever. DC is in a bad place. Every Lantern trailer was lampooned online because it didn't have green. And now we're hearing you're off in Hal Jordan episode 1. DC's not in a good place. And Clayface is not going to save you. Clayface is going to be fighting for his own life just to scrape a little profit if he does that. But you got to convince a general audience that don't even know who Clayface is to see the film. So who was that film for? Is it for the obsession crowd? Is it for Gen Z? Like, what are we doing? So that's why I say fire James Gunn. Because if someone was actually head of DC right now cooking, and I know Zack's going to come back no matter what. Zack's going to do DC again. I'm not going to let that go. As long as Zack is going to tease DC, I believe Zack's going to do DC again. But in the meantime, like Reeves, you better cook with part 2. Because I don't want to keep reminding Reeves fans, I fell asleep on part 1. Your Penguin was dope, though someone else actually was a showrunner for that. It's in your world, Reeves. It's in your Gotham. Part 2 better cook. Or we're going to be like, Reeves, cut that trilogy out. Okay? If you're going to be head of DC or doing DC, you got to come dope. I don't care who you are. Zack Snyder, that's going to work itself out. So I just make sure the guzzlers know this ain't like, fire Gunn today and bring back Zack now. No, that's going to work. As long as Zack's patient, I'm going to be patient. Zack Snyder's going to come back. Gunn, you got to go. Okay, let DeLuca and Abby take over DC. That's a solution. And I definitely know Zack's coming back then. But so that's what it is. Some people try to connect it, and that's fine. If you want to, fire James Gunn, restore the Snyderverse, whatever, you could connect that together. But this is for DC brand overall. James Gunn came in and canceled Superman and Lois. That was a bad decision for an exec, a DC exec. Superman and Lois, one of the best DC shows since Smallville to me, since the Arrowverse. It kind of came out of the Arrowverse in a sense. It's a separate world, but you get my point with that. That was a very successful DC show. And Gunn, you decided to kill that show for your punk rock Superman and for your terrible Supergirl film. You hijacked it from someone, made it terrible. So it's bad exec choices from James Gunn. Supergirl's bombing. Let's announce a Jimmy Olsen show. Huh? Bane and Deathstroke. While the concept could be dope, I don't trust James Gunn. Because you had the guy, Gillespie, making Supergirl, and Gunn had to come in and put his hands in it. Do you think he's going to leave the people alone doing Bane and Deathstroke? You don't think Gunn's going to come in with his notes? Can you put a joke here or two? Nah, I don't want to see that. I don't want nothing from his DC. So fire James Gunn. That means you're not protecting the brand. That's why we're done with James Gunn. If someone else is going to come in, protect the brand, do dope stuff, Zack Snyder's going to work himself out. He's going to do more. But you come up with this goofy stuff, Jimmy Olsen and Gorilla Grodd, and it's supposed to be a comedic type thing? Nah, bro. Nah. No. That's why it's hashtag fire James Gunn. And that means as well, fire Peter Safran, fire the DC brand legacy execs who was there since Sujihara era, fire everyone. Clean sweep Paramount. And speaking of Paramount, I have I'll touch on Paramount briefly. There's a little update about them in California. We'll get to that later in the show about the Paramount deal. Got Dave Miller. Says, I read somewhere that Gunn intentionally wrote Maxima generic so he could switch her to Wonder Woman if possible. Sounds like he's going to be Maxima. Yeah, I mean, I don't really buy that totally either, Dave. I think I don't think Gunn could use Wonder Woman. That's just why, because there's other DC execs, brand execs, they actually pushed the Supergirl film on him. Gunn didn't come in the door saying, "Oh, I got an idea for Supergirl." No, that was pushed on him, and he threw his name as a producer and hijacked the film. But so there's other voices, is the point I'm making with DC, and I think part of that is they're saying like, we're not going to allow Wonder Woman live action right now because it's so recent to Gal Gadot. That's just my guess on that. But that's why I don't feel he can do Wonder Woman or Batman. Good stuff. Let's catch up with the chat here. That Poison Ivy rumor now, I'm not buying it. I think there's a lot of smoke screen with Batman Part 2. You remember it started out, people was like, Sebastian Stan's Two-Face. And then that switched. So I think this is another bait and switch, right? So we'll see. I'm not buying that Poison Ivy story, though. Let's see. Someone in the chat said they saw Smashing Machine. Yeah, The Rock did great in that film. He just needs to. He's going back doing all the IPs that made him successful. Moana, Jungle Book. I think he's doing that. So The Rock's gonna be all right. But yeah, I'm not buying these Batman Part 2 rumors. I'm not, unless I hear from someone that I know. I'm not really gonna buy those rumors. If they come back and say that's what it is, then I'll do a video on it. The Rock's, he's good in Be Cool. He's good in I think Snitch was another film. The Rock has several good films, and then he got kind of corporate. And I think, I don't want to say like oversaturated himself, but that's how people are treating him now. Like, oh, I'm seeing The Rock too much. So that's like, I think that will work itself out as well, too. So with this Fire James Gunn energy, again, it's about the DC brand bringing the proper attention, the proper hype to the brand. Again, Gunn, you can go back over there on Marvel and do this goofy stuff, right? Be online and all this stuff. I won't even pay that much mind. When you're over here with DC and you're not protecting the brand, it's going to be some issues with DC fans. So there was a story like a week ago that supposedly they showed behind the scenes footage of Man of Tomorrow, like at some expo event or something. I really didn't cover it that much, but the story came out and people were rumoring from it. It's like, oh, they showed like the first trailer for Man of Tomorrow, which didn't sound right. They're halfway filming it. I mean, you still can cut up some footage and and do a trailer if you wanted to, but I didn't buy that it was a trailer. Ended up being behind the scenes footage of Man of Tomorrow. But my problem with this story is James Gunn. People was talking about Gunn, your contract's about to run out the end of this year or next year. Your Supergirl sucks. People stop watching your Peacemaker. Gunn don't come out and talk about this. When people ask him about this, he stays really quiet. But then when he wants to debunk stuff, he feels like Gunn feels like he's important. Main character syndrome. Or as a video I came out with not too long ago that James Gunn is allegedly a narcissist. He's the main character in his head, It has to be about him. It has to be something slanted his way. For him to feel good about himself. He went through therapy and stuff, allegedly, and things like that. So Gunn feels like he feels so important when he could debunk something, but it works against him. This is my my point here. You had him right here. This is someone I kind of cut out where they asked the question. It was a cinema event, and people were like, "Oh, we're hearing Man of Tomorrow has a trailer out there," and there was like a semi buzz online, not from a lot of us, but it had people talking about DC. Oh, we got some new footage, and maybe this could be exciting for that corner of people. James Gunn felt like he had to come out and correct this. No, it was just behind the scenes, not trailer. Actually, I filled that part in. And that killed the conversation. Like, when there's speculation out there, that's more mentions online. People are speculating. They were trying to get excited over just this little, like, hey, it could be a trailer. And Gunn had to ruin it. Like, no, it's just a short behind the scenes, not a trailer, guys. What did he benefit from debunking this? Let them to believe there's a trailer. They will be, those Glazers, they'll be like, yeah, they'll be semi-excited. And you just killed it. Like, what does it hurt that people are speculating there's a trailer? But this is the problem. He kills their moods. It's like, bro, that's why it's like, I'm not giving him no credit for anything. People think, oh, Gunn could do something cool with this. No, he's not. He's not. The cover says, I'm so nervous to have a James Gunn Batman movie. Well, now, and again, I haven't checked out this rumor, but it's starting to heat up that Gunn may really want to direct his Batman. Now, so this is the thing, as I've been continuously saying, I don't think he could use Wonder Woman or Batman right now. And I do believe there's going to be no determination. I don't think he'll have time to do Batman because his contract's going to be up. I think it's going to be over. But that rumor's heating up that Gunn may want to actually do his Batman. Obviously, a huge reason why DCU Batman is not there is because Reeves Batman is a thing. They feel it's a successful thing. If Gunn had more time, I'll say this is where I heard. Let's say Gunn, for some reason, his contract can get through 2027. I don't believe it will. Again, it could end the end of this year or April 2027, which I believe that report, April 2027. Let's just make believe Gunn is still under contract and Reeves Batman comes out. If possible, if Reeves Batman Part 2 bombs or just does similar business, kind of underperforms, then that's when Gunn would have been able to do his DCU Batman. When it's like, okay, this really ain't popping off like people think, Reeves Batman. And the jury's still out. As much as I'm excited for this Reeves Batman crime saga after Penguin, that's not guaranteeing Reeves going to really cook. I'm excited for what he can do. But the jury's still out. He still has to deliver with this film. And Pattinson has to be a better Batman this film. It's looking like Pattinson's going to get overshadowed. They may stack this cast so much where you kind of hide Pattinson, which may be a good move. But yeah, so that's my long way of saying, if Gunn had more time and Reeves would have to fail, then Gunn will probably have done his DCU Batman. I feel he won't have a chance. His contract's going to be up before that chance even comes. So that's my thoughts on that. We'll see. Gunn had his chance. He don't need to touch nothing else. I feel you on that. Leave that alone. Because you know the story where you see where he was hinting at his Batman story. We talk about the Maxima kink stuff. Then with Batman, You got Damian, right? Now in the comics, how do we get Damian? Talia al Ghul, basically our words, the Batman. Of course, Gunn's gonna pick that storyline, right? Like so he would do DCU Batman, and he'll show the whole backstory of what Talia does to Bruce, because he has to. I'm just saying, bro. He made sure he's like, oh, we getting Damian. You're gonna see Damian get made. Like I don't trust Gunn. So it's hard out there for you. It's hard there for you Gunn fans because he ain't even letting you get hyped for nothing. Y'all could have rolled off of this all the way. The Supergirl was a downer. It bombed royally. And then it's like, oh, man, tomorrow we heard there's a trailer. Yeah, we can get excited about something, guys. And Gunn's like, nope. They ain't got no trailer. Nope. Just behind the scenes, guys. Calm down. Like, woo. It's like, why? Let them be excited. My goodness. Oh, man. Funny stuff with that. But, and that's why, and a lot of, again, we're talking about the Glazers. They're like, okay, Supergirl, just one loss. We're going to go forward. Man of Tomorrow's next. It's like, no. Nope. You just stay here in 2026 for this butt whooping. You ain't in 2027 yet. You caught your L with Peacemaker season 2 last year. Superman didn't really break any records. Supergirl bottom 3 performance ever. You can't fast forward this year. You got to take more butt whoopings. Lantern's coming up next. You're often a DC legend. Episode 1. How's that going to go? You already had bad publicity for Lanterns. Every trailer drop, every footage, every picture is too brown. There's a couple of normal dudes sitting in the bar, walking down the dusty road. When it flies, he looks like Mary Poppins. Like it was nothing hype. That last trailer they came out with, the Are You Afraid trailer, they tried to show a little bit more green. That's probably all the shots they got. That's all they got. So y'all can't fast forward to Man of Tomorrow, Glazers, Guzzlers. Y'all staying here in 2026, taking this butt whooping, and then we'll go from there. And then we can't even talk about Clayface right now. We need to stomp on Lanterns next month. Then we'll get to you, Clayface, in October, right? We're gonna see. That shouldn't be your savior. I tell you that, Clayface. That should not be your savior. My goodness. That's rough. Batman making poop jokes. Oh my goodness. That's what I'm saying. Because in their mind, they're like, oh, we go, Man Tomorrow's next, guys. Everything's fine. Man Tomorrow's like, no. Slow it down, Guzzers and Glazers. Y'all got some more bad press for 2026. Mr. J says, Gunn says, we know about Damian, but we don't know the backstory of how he was conceived. I want to bring that to the big screen. Bro want to show this story so bad. He needs Talia just decimating Bruce. And it's supposed to be for kids, bro. Oh my goodness. It's a mess. It's a mess, man. James Gunn. So it's a tough time for you Gunn fans, man. Y'all scrambling hard. But Gunn is fighting for his life.
I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my career. 30 years of my career.
Gunn Kelly. Oh my goodness. James Gunn fighting for his life. Ooh, boy. It's rough, man. It's rough. It's rough being a Gunn fan right now, y'all. It's gotta be. And because at first, it's funny. I don't know if y'all noticed this, but the main Shield Gunn accounts. When Supergirl, was DOA before it even was released. It was DOA Wednesday night. It wasn't even released till Friday. It was DOA before it released. Amazing. That's an amazing accomplishment in the worst way possible. And then Rotten Tomatoes was like, it's trash. The critics, some of those main Gunn guzzlers, they turned their back on Supergirl at first. And they were throwing the director under the bus, the writer. They were like, okay, this is trash. DCU is doomed. Like, we was going through the stages of grief. They got real. It got real. As soon as that came out, it was immediate anger. Or was it denial? It is a denial. It's like, no, yeah. How can I have a low audience score? That's impossible. And then they got to bargaining. Well, see, if we didn't have this writer, then the film would have been better. Then you got the pure anger. Like, oh, my stupid director, stupid writer. Then you had some depression. It ain't fair, guys. It's not fair what you're doing to Supergirl. You misogynists, you Snyder bros. As we said a couple weeks ago, they're never going to get to stage 5 acceptance. They'll never accept this loss like that. So they all scaled all the way back to denial. I saw all of them go back to denial. No, this is the best female film ever. Because at first I was disappointed. They were throwing everybody under the bus. They was like, oh, Rotten Tomatoes told us not to like it. We're done with Supergirl. I was disappointed in you guzzlers. But you actually got back on code. Y'all went back to denial. That's where y'all belong. Stay on denial and act like this is good. Though it's not. And the whole world sees it. Dropping 80% second weekend, 70% third weekend, pulled out of half the theaters. It's over. Right? They gotta hold that. They gotta hold that. So they're where they're supposed to be now. Now they're just staying in denial, and that's where they belong. Because keep deluding yourself saying this film is good. That's where we want you at. So we can make fun of you more. That's great. Plot twist. Barry created the DCU and the Flash. Clooney's the DCU Batman. That's funny, Dave, because I know I broke the Clooney story, right? A few years ago. That was the first thing they told me. They said, yes, Clooney's in the end of the Flash. It was James Gunn's call. Clooney in the end of the Flash, but he's not going to be DCU Batman. So I'm going to hold on to what they said with that. But that would be funny if Gunn's like, oh, okay, this is DCU Batman Clooney. That'd be so cool, guys. Amazing stuff. So it's very thorough while we're saying fire James Gunn. And it's not just Snyder fans. It's not just Snyder fans. It's people all over the world. They're like, nah, this Gunn ain't fire James Gunn, or at least you should have finished the Snyderverse first. Why are you bringing this dude these low stakes stories? Low characters that people don't even know and things like that. People are seeing like, what's the wisdom in that, right? But now the critics already kind of turned their backs on James Gunn. I think because they know his contract's up. I think they know they don't got to play ball with James Gunn anymore. Your DC is over. Paramount's going to come in. Something's going to change, right? And then the critics and journalists, they went a step further, saying that not only did DC have the worst marketing for Supergirl probably ever, like back in CinemaCon 3 months ago, they was like, this is one of the worst displays I've ever seen for a comic book movie. Like, this was a terrible panel, terrible footage. It looked like Guardians of the Galaxy. So they were off the Supergirl and Gunn months ago. And then Gunn called himself clapping back at journalists, trying to debunk people. He thought, he feels like he feels better as a suspected narcissist. He feels like he has to debunk stuff to feel good about himself. But now the tables are turning. The journalists are against James Gunn and Peter Safran. And this is what they're saying. This is what they think about you, James Gunn. They think you're the loser. You and James Gunn, the loser of the year. Let's go.
Have to be James Gunn and Peter Safran.
The question is, who's the loser of the year so far? So we're halfway through 2026. this guy, I think he writes for Business Insider or something like that. The guy on the bottom, the guy on top, Matthew Baloney, he writes for Puck News. I like both of those trades, actually. I like them better than Variety and Deadline. So who's the loser of the year?
Have to be James Gunn and Peter Safran, the DC.
It has to be. It has to be James Gunn, Peter Safran. This is rough.
Have to be James Gunn and Peter Safran, the DC guys.
The DC heads.
I mean, Supergirl, after 2 weekends, is at 100 million worldwide. Barely 100 million worldwide. Clearly the bomb of the year. DC, this was supposed to be the rebooted DC under these two guys who knew what they were doing. They took a big victory lap after Superman, which was a hit, but not the massive hit that they made it out to be, especially.
Again, this guy, he's with Business Insider. I think his trade, his site or whatever magazine, website, they were the ones that broke the story that Gunn and Safran got the 6-month extension from October 2026 to April 2027. So again, they know what they're talking about, and their ears are to the streets. And he's making it clear Superman was not no massive success. Like, you got people out there still saying that, oh, over 125 million in profit. No, Warner Brothers didn't claim that. I know where y'all got that number from. It wasn't from Warner Brothers. It was from an opinion piece. And this guy's telling you right now, someone that knows the business, Superman was no massive success.
Under these two guys who knew what they were doing. They took a big victory lap after Superman, which was a hit, but not the massive hit that they made it out to be, especially given the cost. And then huge flame out on the second movie. It doesn't mean that they're going to necessarily abort the strategy, but if you're David Ellison and you get your deal done, how much faith are you putting in these guys to know what they're doing if they...
This dude's cooking. I mean, and this is what we all seen. We all saw this. We all saw that this the terrible timing for Gunn and Safran, because leadership's about to change. Ownership, I should say, is about to change. And they're coming into the door, and this is how you're flaming out, and your contract's about to run out anyway. This may be a wrap.
If you're David Ellison and you get your deal done, how much faith are you putting in these guys to know what they're doing if they can't make Supergirl work?
I know. Peter Safran did a rare statement to the New York Times the Sunday after the movie came out saying, well, Supergirl did not meet our box office expectations. It's just one component of a broader long-term strategy, i.e. David Ellison, we've got a long-term strategy.
Please do not fire us. We have a vision. We know what we're doing.
So they definitely cooked him right there. And this long-term strategy, this is their long-term strategy. When they came into the door, James Gunn, Peter Safran, they did map out a slate. They definitely mapped out a slate. Where the Gunn movies at, huh? They mapped out a slate, long-term plans, gods and monsters, right? And then when you come up with Creature Commandos, you do Superman, and then once they started tracking for Superman, it was tracking, I won't say soft. Superman was tracking mid, because it ended up being mid. 600 million in box office. That's a mid performance. It's not considered a flop. It's not considered a smashing hit. It's mid. So once they start seeing the tracking that it will fall around mid level, that's when they adjusted to do the Super Family. Adjusted to Super Family Saga. And that's where we're at now, as far as these are the films that they can get out right now. Now, when David Ellison comes into the door, this is the type of stuff they're presenting to him. Like, hey, we still want to do Paradise Lost, Swamp Thing. We got Batman. One of the first things Ellison's going to do when he comes into the door is say, okay, we need Batman in here. If Reeves is cooking, then we really don't need this whole connected world right now. It's going to be just kind of these one-off projects until we're able to do a proper continuity. So Gunn and Safran, if they're presenting this to David Ellison, like, hey, we got these little projects here and there, I don't think it's going to be enough for Ellison to say, let's re-up you for a contract. It's come out, and I talked about this several times, that Paramount was recruiting people to do possible DC projects before they bid on Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers was already planning on people to do DC projects. Sure that they have a plan. What this could mean is that David Ellison will come into the door. He'll see that, okay, Gunn and Safran are failing. We want this Batman to kind of play out if Reeves is really cooking. Because you can't continue this. You can't do this slate right here. You can't continue to do the Superman family stuff without a Batman. This is silly. If we're going to do a connected world, if we're going to do the DC universe, do the DC universe. So it's going to put a hold likely on any future plans right there. And then at that point, it's like, okay, is that a reboot? What is that? The key is Batman Part 2. Now we're saying the key, we're not talking about James Gunn, Peter Safran anymore. I think they're going to be done. We're talking about the future of live action DC. If Reeves comes out and cooks, that's going to buy Paramount some time to figure out like a long-term connected world. Okay, Reeves, go and do Part 3. Now we need something else out there. That's where you enter in Zack Snyder. We need a Justice League film out there. So that's the likely scenario to me, is that Ellison comes in here. Let's say Reeves does good. Gunn and Safran, y'all out. Let's just cut to the chase with that. He doesn't. You don't need this disconnected world. Batman. If you can't do Batman, this slate ain't happening. Now, does that mean Corn Sweat's automatically done and everything? No, I mean they can keep some of these characters. It's going to be back burner until they figure out their Batman problem. And it's really not a problem. Let it run its course. So what, again, to summarize, what Paramount likely would do, you come into the door, okay, Reeves is cooking. You could do some connected projects and your third film. That will buy us some time. Kick things down the road a little bit. We need Justice League. Zack Snyder's Justice League Part 2. That's where Zack Snyder could come in there to give them that Justice League, that brand. It's all about brands right now and IPs. Okay, Batman's on lock over there. You're selling Batman using Batman. Justice League is a separate brand. So I'm going to do a Justice. That's a collective film, and I could do a couple of those films. Once that's done, Reeves done, then let's go back to this shared world. That's how you do it. And just whoever you want to control at that time is what you do. You need event films. That's what David Ellison's going to come into the door. This ain't event films. Again, you're not doing Batman. Authority. You want some more weird series of Waller? Do I really want a Waller series? I mean, Gunn, you already ruined her in the Suicide Squad, pretty much. Booster Gold, like that's not going to get people hyped for DC. Where are the heavy hitters at? Again, you can't use Batman because of Reeves. I don't think Swamp Thing's ever going to happen. So Gunn kind of already shot his bullets. So I guess pun intended with that. They have nothing for event level type of projects, and so that's why I think again, David Ellison. That's my theory. Is you come in there, you say, okay, pause this whole connected super family stuff. Like, okay, Man of Tomorrow, we'll let it come. We'll make a little money off of that. We'll see. But Reeves, you go do your Batman epic crime saga. It's a potential spinoff. We'll talk about that in a moment. Do that. I need a Justice League film. Okay. Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3. Would you do a Batfleck project at that time? I still think Batfleck, as I've been saying continuously, Batfleck, he wants to do Dark Knight Returns. He would do it today. He would do it 10 years from now. So I do believe one day we will get that Batfleck film. I don't think that's going to be first on the table, though. Again, in this scenario that I'm painting, where you got to keep DC going, hold off on all this goofy stuff. Batman event film, Justice League event film. And you just do that 2027, Justice League 2028. You don't got to do multiple films a year. We're trying to kind of get out of the hole here. Make one event film. Justice League 2, 2028. Reeves, will you be ready 2029 with your Batman trilogy? Again, potential spinoffs. I'll talk about that. Justice League 3, 2030. And you complete Zack Snyder's 5-part arc right there. Could it be spinoffs from there at that time? We'll see, right? Because again, it's all about performance. But if it's about making event films, you have the answer already. You have Batman. That's always going to sell for DC. And Justice League is a brand in its own. And the audience will get it. They can understand that, okay, this is Justice League over here. This is Reeves Batman over here. Two different things going on. There we go. So that's likely, again, the scenario with that. What we got in the chat here? Why James gonna put Waller? It's nonsense. You know, as bad as it's getting this backlash with Lanterns, you want to try out some booster go Jimmy Olsen? I mean, that's one project because I don't believe they'll tax write-off Man of Tomorrow. But Jimmy Olsen, David Ellison has to come in the door and be like, man, we ain't doing no Jimmy Olsen. Like, what you do? Get this out of here, man. Get this out of here. Yeah, if they want to make money, restore the Snyderverse, it's about event films. Marvel's realizing this. Marvel can't even do another Fantastic Four film because that wasn't event level enough. They could do a Fantastic Four. It's got to have RDJ Doom in it, though. Either you're selling these, A-lister event films or having huge stars in these films to sell it. Marvel's starting to understand that. That's why you're getting Avengers, Spider-Man, X-Men. You're not getting Black Widow 2. No, they're not going to make that. I can't make. Yeah, the character's cool. I can't make a lot of money with that right now. Yes, the heyday is over for just these ancillary characters. Yes. You need event level films, and DC has the Trinity. You had Batman the whole time. Superman can be an event film. Henry Cavill Superman, again, that's the largest selling Superman film ever. So you can make Superman an event film if you make it right. Batman. And then because of BVS, Wonder Woman is A-list now. You come out with a Wonder Woman film, the whole world is ready for Wonder Woman, thanks to the Snyderverse. Now you come in, and this is what you do with that film. So interesting. I look in the chat. We got sylabdul in the chat. That's what's up. Sylabdul is back. This stream must be hot. We got some characters coming in here. Smash that like. Make sure you subscribe. Got a late night bonus string. We got the Goofy showing up. Oh man, this must have been a hot week. Good stuff. Good stuff. So let's run this back again, and make sure we didn't miss anything.
Have to be James Gunn and Peter Safran, the DC guys.
The DC heads.
I mean, Supergirl, after 2 weekends, is at 100 million worldwide.
And according to reports, it's not going to get past 125 million. Because it's getting pulled out of theaters after this 70% drop in its third week. Again, second weekend, you had 80% drop. Third weekend now, 70%, another 70%. And it's getting pulled out of half the theaters. It barely make it to next weekend. It'll probably get discount Tuesday. I know they got like discount Wednesdays now out there. But by next weekend, Supergirl's done. It finished like in 8th place or something like that. This week, it's over. Obsession beat Supergirl. And Obsession's been in theaters for the longest. It's a shame. I'm saying Obsession beat Supergirl this week head to head. That's insane. And Obsession's on digital now, right? Am I right with that? Hold up. I think it's, or maybe after this weekend. Let me see. On digital. Let's see. I don't see anything yet. Yeah, it's okay. It was made available. What? It hit digital 10 days ago? And it, bro, Obsession was available for home digital 2 weeks ago. And it still beat Supergirl in theaters head to head this weekend. That's insane. That's insane. Let's see, what was the box office numbers? This weekend for Supergirl. That's insane. People go watch Obsession at home and it still beat Supergirl. Obsession got nearly 4 million. Supergirl got 3.5. Insane. You talking about DOA. You talking about, again, James Gunn hijacked this man's film and made it one of the worst DC films ever, the worst performance ever. They're saying now Supergirl may not get to 125 million. Yeah, I think it's at 115. That's insane. That is insane. Let's see. Were you laughing about DCU would not be at San Diego Comic-Con? Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a moment. Yeah, we're going to talk about Comic-Con. That's bad, right? Like Obsession, this little film that could. Sitting there, made his money, right? In the face that they got digital at home and they still did more in theaters straight against it. That's tough. That's tough, man. I see someone saying Erica's coming this year. Now, thanks to your James Gunn, there's a, was it Will Rollins? He talked about the haircut was supposed to have been released 2022. He actually saw the cut. And just, Gunn came in and things kind of changed. So that's been fully detailed. I know a lot of y'all probably not following the story, but haircut was supposed to come out. Yeah, Will Rollins detailed that tremendously. So y'all probably a couple years later on that story, but y'all here to catch up. So catch up with us. Maybe don't talk so much, just kind of listen and catch up.
Barely 100 million worldwide. Clearly the bomb of the year. DC.
Dang. That's on you, James Gunn.
This was supposed to be the rebooted DC under these two guys who knew what they were doing. They took a big victory lap after Superman, which was...
And I told y'all that before Superman came out, I said, if somehow Superman gets to that profit number, at that time it was 500 to 550, but really it was 560 after all the real numbers came out. I said, they're going to do a victory lap. They're going to do a victory lap. And Zaza put out an ad in the paper and he was celebrating Superman. We made a little money. The DC's back. And as they're saying, that was a little performative because it really wasn't back.
Victory lap after Superman, which was a hit, but not the massive hit that they made it out to be, especially given the cost. And then huge flame out on the second movie. It doesn't mean that they're going to necessarily abort the strategy, but if you're David Ellison and you get your deal done, how much faith are you putting in these guys to know what they're doing if they can't make Supergirl work?
I know. Peter Safran did.
And that's got to be a real thing. It's like, you messed up Supergirl and you got disconnected with your Superman and you couldn't make this. You put in Jason Momoa. Yeah, sylabdul. Yeah, you got to catch up before you comment in this chat. We got a lot of educated people in this chat. You're sounding like you don't even know what happened the last 4 years. So what we need you to do is catch up. Don't spam the chat because you don't know what you're talking about. So you don't know what you're talking about. Catch up, then come back and talk to us. So you probably got to sit in silence for a couple videos, because you're coming in like, hey, I thought this happened. Go read up and then join us in the sun. All right. That's what you could do. People, we're in the new information. People so stuck, they can't even catch up to where we're at. I'm used to that though. I'm used to a lot being behind. But let's go back to what we're talking about now. But in 2022, bro, what year is this? What have you done with your life for 4 years? you just sitting there stewing for 4 years. I can't wait to ask sylabdul. Catch up.
Guys to know what they're doing if they can't make Supergirl work.
I know. Peter Safran did a rare statement to the New York Times the Sunday after the movie came out saying, well, Supergirl did not meet our box office expectations. It's just one component of a broader long-term strategy, i.e. David Ellison, we've got a long-term strategy.
Please do not fire us. We have a vision. We know what we're doing.
So, yeah, I mean, that's a fatality. And again, those are two respected journalists. I like, again, the trades that they write for. Puck News, the guy on top, Puck News, Business Insider. They do their thing. And if they're clowning this, that means the business world's clowning it. And I think Hollywood is like, okay, it's going to be a shift in the matrix here. If we got people, yeah, y'all got to catch up, man. Y'all come in here. Like, if I didn't know what I was talking about, I wouldn't jump into a chat and, like, sound ignorant. So I'll be like, oh, let me make sure I know what I'm talking about first. But yeah, these are teaching moments, for people. We got to catch up to 2026, and we can go forward, right? I saw Alex Clark up there. I saw you in the chat. What's good with you? I actually felt emotional and excited watching Snyder's trilogy. With Gunn's DCU, I feel nothing. Yeah, and again, like I said, I mean, you're just like me and a lot of others, man, is that some of us actually gave it a shot. It's like, hey, if Gunn comes in and makes some money, I'm gonna be like, hey, I respect that. You did your thing. He's not doing his thing. he's not doing his thing. So this is where we're at with that overall. Yeah, man. Kind of running out of material out there. But we're gonna keep you in the chat. This is actually fun. It says, so what's the move for DC if Gunn is let go? Like, where does the brand head from here? I think it's the Luca Abdi can easily take over DC. And what I detailed, you probably came in a few minutes ago. I think Paramount's going to come in and say, okay, we got a Batman problem. We can't do this Superman family stuff. Even when we fire James Gunn and Safran, their contract's up, they're gone. We're sitting here with a super family saga. Can't put no Batman, no Justice League. So let's pause all this super family stuff. That's what I believe David Ellison's going to do. Come into the door, let Reeves do his Batman Part 2. If that cooks, you get Part 3. We need Justice League. We need event films. You come in with Justice League 2 and 3, Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3. I think you could space that out for 2 to 3 years and then do your reboot right there. If you want to keep Corn Sweat, if you want to, recast, that's up to them, right? But I think just a simple answer, I think you pause, like all this that Gunn was talking about, and of course this is in 2022 as well, just like that guy in the chat. You're stuck in 2022. I say pause all this, or even decimate it if you have to, and let's make our Batman and Justice League films. And that's just business savvy. That's not. I mean, yeah, people are like, okay, you want Snyderverse? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I do. But it just so happens this falls into we need event films, Batman and Justice League sales. Even Justice League, as terrible as Justice League was, it still sold. Sort of. You know what I'm saying? Sort of. But not as good. It did better than Supergirl, right? But that is what it is. That you need event level films. That's what we need. Also, Carlos, Montreal's tribute for Green Lantern's watch along. Oh, that's gonna be. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to Lanterns. Probably too much. I'm looking forward to it. Like, let's see how this really lands with everyone. Episode 1's gonna be crazy, and They're going to recover. It's going to be like Acolyte all over again. Episode 1 was just like, what are y'all doing? Episode 2 and 3 was trying to catch up, and I dropped that show. So we'll see if I get through the Lantern show. We'll see the series. We will see. Says they need to stop James Gunn filming of Jimmy Olsen and Man of Tomorrow. Well, Man of Tomorrow's going to be in the can before Ellison comes to the building, I believe. But hey, who knows if this closes, if the deal closes, and I'll talk about that in a moment. If it closes this month, I mean, hey, Man of Tomorrow's not done shooting yet, so we'll see. And that Jimmy Olsen show, yeah, no one's asking for that, man. No one's asking it. People are deluding themselves thinking that's really going to be something, but that is what it is. So the state of DC, let's pull this up real quick. Let's talk about current news. People don't understand current news. A couple of years ago, I thought, how can you be that slow years ago? You still didn't figure out something from years ago? Like, you got to catch up, bro. I don't know. But hey, it's people that watch this channel for years. They like some of the dumbest people online. So I guess that checks out overall. DC Comic-Con. Real quick. DC announces San Diego Comic-Con panels. Is DC Studio skipping Hall H? Question mark. Right now, DC Comics, the comic books are hot. Animated films like Nightfall, animated series My Adventures with Superman are all hot. But live action DC is not seeming like it's kind of lagging behind every other medium in DC Comics, DC Entertainment. The only mention of DC Studios for the panels is their official merchandise inspired by lanterns. So you got the bomber jacket and a power ring and some Clayface apparel. So nothing of Supergirl is going to be there, of course. No merch, no Supergirl merch at all. Y'all killed Supergirl. And so people think hopefully we'll get a first look at the Monsters classic form. We'll see. Is DC Studios really going to skip Comic-Con again? This will be the perfect opportunity to showcase upcoming titles like Lanterns, Clayface, Man of Tomorrow, while also potentially revealing what comes next for the DCU in wake of Supergirl's struggles. So just to be clear, I think it was right after this article was written, it came out that Gunn and Safran will not be there. Right? They're not going to show up at Comic-Con. They're ducking the smoke. Now, a lot of people was like, okay, James Gunn, you're still filming Man of Tomorrow, so he kind of gets a pass. You still can send a video, but you can understand why he's not there. Peter Safran, you're still co-head of DC Studios, and you can't show up. You can't fit this in your schedule. This is them ducking the smoke of the fallout of Supergirl, and I think this is a missed opportunity because people are saying, okay, well, they need to save money. Well, they're sending all these other DC Comics people there. Like, DC is there. They're just choosing not to send Safran just to talk about a couple slides. Like, look at this on Thursday. You got the Jim Lee panel. He does this every year. So this ain't about, we're saving money. What are we spending money on? You're sending these people there. So you got to pay for their flights or something? Like, what are you spending? I mean, you got to pay for the panel. You know, you're renting a space, right? But you're doing this for Jim Lee on Thursday afternoon. Cape Crusader Season 2. That's with Amazon. That's Thursday late afternoon. So you got 2 panels right there. So it's not about money. You're ducking smoke, right? Friday. You got a DC Comics panel. So again, you're renting space for that. My Adventures of Superman season 3. So animation is going to be highlighted Friday. So that's 2 more panels. So you got 2 Thursday, 2 Friday, then Saturday. Now Friday, it is going to be an HBO Max Lanterns panel. So that's been added. So you're spending money on that. And then Saturday, you got the Nightfall special presentation. So you're going to get a glimpse of that animated film, more DC Comics, a specific Absolute DC Absolute Universe panel as well. I wish I was going to this Comic-Con just for the comics and the animation. I mean, it's that good. So Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, you got all these panels, but we got to save money. We can't send Peter Safran and James Gunn or just Peter Safran. I don't buy it, right? I don't buy it. So that is what it is. That is what it is. And so this is the thing. They're ducking the smoke. They don't want to address the elephant in the room of Supergirl. They really don't have any plans beyond Man of Tomorrow. What are they really going to say when they come in there, right? We got this Jimmy Olsen show. So it's the fact that you really don't have anything exciting to tell people. I mean, you could, but they don't. But comics is where it's at. Animation, animated series, films, animated films as well. James says, am I the only one that's been keeping up with Absolute Superman and Batman? No, for sure. I've been keeping up mostly with, obviously, Absolute Batman. I picked up the Absolute Catwoman. Scott Snyder is writing that one. That's a good one as well. Absolute Wonder Woman is my favorite over all the books. Superman, I haven't been keeping up issue to issue as much, but I did like the Absolute Shazam, which is really Black Adam. Love that issue. It was like a couple issues right there. So Absolute Universe is where it's at. I got the Absolute Green Arrow. That's something like a horror flick watching that. So yeah, comics is where it's at. And again, they're sending all these other people to Comic-Con. Safran and Gunn, nowhere to be found. All the other sectors of DC Comics is there. So again, it's not about saving money, y'all. It's not. They just don't have nothing to tell you. Yeah, Man of Tomorrow. Man of Tomorrow's coming. Yeah. What's going to happen after that? We got to sit down and talk about it. You saw Safran have that quote, right? Where he said, after Man of Tomorrow, because someone asked Safran, okay, what's coming up next? Well, after Gunn shoots Man of Tomorrow, then we're going to sit down and talk about what's to come. What happened to the slate, Safran? This slate's over. It's over, right? We know it's over overall with that. So very interesting. The state of DC, live action DC, is in shambles. And that's why they will not be at Comic-Con. Live action will not be at Comic-Con at all. This is geek heaven. If you ever go to a Comic-Con, you're surrounded by hardcores. It's a wonderful atmosphere. You got to spend a lot of money as well. But they won't be there, right? So you don't have like a lot of weirdos there, trolls. It's geek heaven. It's so unlike online. Online, you have idiots. People who have burner accounts and fake accounts. You don't have that at Comic-Con at all. I think everyone should make one trek to Comic-Con in their lifetime. And I wish I could make this one. I really wish I would have got ahead of how great the comics was going to be and animation. This would be a great one to go to. Not for live action DC, which is insane. Gunn been shooting Man of Tomorrow forever. He's halfway done, man. That's you being too hard on good. Wish they would have rebooted Justice League animated series. Yeah, it's like, how are they fumbling? Like DC, why is there not a Justice League animated series right now? Or now they are doing Absolute Batman, so that's smart. It's like, catch up. I'm sure, yeah, for the Absolute panel, I'm sure they're going to show Absolute Batman animation. According to reports, it's going to have the same animation as Marvel's What If. I like those characters, overall, but You know, I think that's going to be. They had to strike. They had to strike when that was hot. Yeah, they got to sit down and fight for their lives. Oh man! Now, I know the Guzzers, man. I know the Glazers. I know y'all not happy. Y'all not happy with this bad news. I know the Guzzers and Glazers. They're not happy. That's rough. It has to be a tough life for some people. It's gotta be tough out there. If you're not sylabdul, I'm just if you're not a real Snyder fan, like you have some people Netflix only and all this stuff. Oh, like real DC fans. If you're not really holding down DC, you just worry about hashtags. It's gotta be tough out there. Absolute Superman's better than Absolute Batman? I don't know. I like Batman a little better. The Absolute run. But I am behind on Superman. I'm behind on Absolute Superman, so maybe I'll like it when I catch up. Great way to build hype for DCU is to ghost the fans at the biggest comic event of the year. Pretty much is what we got. And that's too bad. That's too bad for the state of live action DC. But thankfully for the DC brand, they get a chance to hold it down. Animation and comics as well. Now, briefly, I was talking about Reeves Batman. Let's kind of jump back for a moment here. There's a rumor out there as well. I got to put it on the screen here. There we go. And again, this is a rumor. Nothing's really corroborated with this, overall. So this is, let's see, let me blow this up some. Rumor. Poison Ivy series moving forward. It will be part of Matt Reeves' Batverse. And I think that's what a lot of people needed. A lot of people needed to hear. There's a new DC project and it's in Reeves' world. Now, this is a rumor, but it's funny. If this would have said in Gunn's DCU, I don't think this would have caught any traction. It's the fact that it's like, hey, it's in Reeves' world. And people are like, oh, is there something there? Again, nothing corroborated, but let's see what they're talking about with this. Now, it's from Jeff Snyder, so we know how that goes overall with that. Same universe again as the Batman and the Penguin. Will this be a more grounded take on Poison Ivy? I don't know if I want Reeves. This is the thing. Anything announced with DC right now, like Clayface should have been, Clayface should have been in the Batman world, right? Really should have been. It really should have been. But Gunn tried to usurp that and take that in and say, oh, we're taking that in our DCU to kind of give him some hype. So when you announce this, again, when you rumor this Poison Ivy, you almost have to say immediately, like, what world is in. And so, I think it's smart for them to say that. Now, again, will this really happen? I don't know, because now you got people rumoring Poison Ivy in the Batman Part 2. I don't believe those rumors either. And Reeves, he really should just stick to, grounded approach, like Penguin. I mean, he could do you would think he could do like a Deathstroke. I don't want to take the Batfleck idea, but you would think he can kind of, put in something more grounded. Like Clayface, that really couldn't work in this world. But again, if you want to ground Clayface, maybe that could work. Poison Ivy, again, these rumors are all kind of all over the place. Clayface should be in the Batman Part 2 using the Batman animated series episode Clayface. Reeves is going to have to kind of show us he can really pull off, I won't say like fantastical, but like something visually like this, right? So I don't know. I'm on the fence with a lot of this stuff, especially when it's a clear just rumor. But now you had the story dropping out, the Poison Ivy potential spinoff, and all of a sudden now they're saying Poison Ivy's in Batman Part 2. Who knows if there's a connection with that? We shall see. We shall see. But can Gunn really pull off fantastical? I'm sorry, Reeves. Can Reeves pull it off? I don't know about that. All right. A little iffy. A little iffy with that. Now, we've been talking a lot about off and on my weekly show. We touched on the Paramount deal extensively. We got a little update concerning this. As it's saying, Paramount's considering a relocation of its operations from California if the state decides to sue to stop the Warner Brothers takeover. Now, to be clear, I think Oregon just dropped their suit. I covered that yesterday. And it said, California and New York could still come through with the deal to try to block the deal. So we got Raven, they on your neck. Oh, you're the only one paying attention to that, Raven. That's the thing. You're the only one paying attention to stupidity. So that's that. It's like, what do you could give trolls the air. I think this really fits in the chat. You want to have the Guzzlers and Glazers upset. You want to have Netflix people upset. You want to have people. You even got some people that call themselves Snyder fans. They didn't support Henry Cavill and Black Adam, and they're going to be upset. So you gotta have a nice mix. In the chat there. But I don't need you to point out anything. I'll say that. But as far as with this deal, what would this mean, right? It seems like things were skating by. They thought it would close as early as July, as late as September. You got Oregon out the way. Now California and New York, they may try to finally put in some litigation to, block, to block it. So after Oregon, just yesterday, we just talked about this. It looked like they were on pace to close this July 22nd. Now with California, again, and other states putting in the litigation to try to block the merger, that could most likely only delay it. Everyone's still, as far as in the business world, everyone's still speaking like this is going to close eventually. If it's not as early as July, maybe it'll be September, right? If they try to delay this. So that will happen as far as with California. California and New York may just try to delay things. That's what Oregon was just trying to do. They're trying to delay the deal. And I think that's just to cover that directly. That's the best they could do is try to delay it. And yeah, like you said, it's wasting everyone's time. Even if they accomplish delaying it, it still will get passed eventually. I see Vegeta in the chat. What's good with you? But this is an interesting article here, or a line right here is it saying, because Paramount's been trying to work with California behind the scenes. If California goes forward with filing the legislation, Paramount may move their operations from California, from the state of California. Again, that's only if. We're at an if. Nothing's been filed yet. There's been a lot of talking from California and a lot of talking from other states. Oregon is the only one that stepped up, and they pulled out yesterday. Or maybe it was Friday. California, if they go forward, Paramount may be like, okay, we're going to take our business, our operations going to go. Like, we're offering, Paramount saying we're going to make more films, more businesses coming to the state of California. Both our studios will be here. But if you try to block this, we're going to take our operations elsewhere. So California, you could either get these films made out there, more jobs, in that field overall, more business, more local business, or you try to block this and then you're going to lose all this business. They could shoot films in UK all the time if they want to, or Atlanta, other areas. So I like that Paramount's just saying like, hey, we're trying to work with y'all, but if y'all want to go this far, this how far we're going to go. We're going to just take our business elsewhere. And then once this deal closes, because we believe it will, you're not going to have any business in California. And I really don't think California's going to go that far, because you're literally hurting the state's economy. You think California doesn't care? I don't know, man. So worst case scenario, I think with this though, like, I mean, if this is how far it's going to go, it's only going to hurt California. And it's only delaying the inevitable. So that's what it is. That's what it is with that. Final thing we want to bring out. Not this. Zack Snyder has been active. Instagram. This dude asking about Miami Heat. Y'all heard about that, Carlos. I heard about that. They got an economy of a small country. It's going to get smaller. I like that. It's like, if they're going to call their bluff, like, okay, you're going to file this legislation. We're trying to work with you behind the scenes. If you're going to go this far with it, it's only going to hurt you. That's insane. Zack Snyder's latest IG posts. Interesting timing. Came out today. Zack Snyder with the black suit, Henry Cavill Superman. This is at the end of ZSJL where he's destroying Steppenwolf. And the caption, when Steppenwolf falls, hope rises. This is interesting. Interesting choice of words, Zack Snyder. So, okay, so just the literal, this is a part of the movie. Steppenwolf falls, hope rises. Okay, Superman. Okay. Is there another entendre to this, right? Is there another level to this? Who is symbolized by Steppenwolf? Is this the current DC? That's the only way I can take this, Zack Snyder. Is this the current DCU? It just fell with Supergirl. Now, will it stay down? Will it rise back up? No, hope's going to rise. I just say, all we're doing is going off with the great Zack Snyder's posting. While people caught up on goofy stuff, we want to see what Zack Snyder's talking about. All right, and in the chat, Shield buddy, don't spam the chat. Don't do that. You're already a coward, right? So you can't be a coward and spam. Like, be a coward and not talk so much, or be yourself and you can talk as much as you want. So that's, yeah. Because when you bring up other people's names, you can say anything you want about me. Don't bring other people into that. I know I probably hurt your feelings. Like, I probably hurt your feelings in the chat. Probably some years ago. So yeah, don't spam the chat. That's what I'm saying to you right now. Because you're bringing up other people because you're a coward. So be a man, be a man and talk as much as you want. Okay, so see. Now you got to go get another account. You see what I'm saying? You tell people and they think like it's fun again. Being a coward's fun to some people. So now you got to run and get another account like a beta and come back and try it again. All right, there you go. Real easy. See how easy that was? Yeah, that's one thing though. What I say is, I don't mind. People can say anything they want about me. I really don't care. You really don't bother me. But when you bring other people into it, that's unacceptable. They're not here to defend themselves. And again, you're a coward on a fake account. You know, you think you speak with all this autonomy. Like, I don't accept that. You can say anything you want about me, though. We could have a whole show where you being a coward. I come at people directly. I know everyone's not built like me, though. So, but as we talking about Zack Snyder here, because you can't be a Snyder fan. You're trying to throw this stuff. We're talking about Zack Snyder. So I know this ain't even a Snyder fan. So what did this mean as far as you think he's talking about the DCU? DCU is Steppenwolf. It just had a bottom 3 DC film. You got James Gunn, Peter Safran, the last months of their contract, under a calendar year. That's falling, right? You got Lanterns. And again, as we detailed every week, we talk about DCU. It wasn't like it was really having any wins. Like, you had 4 losses in a row, probably going on 5 with Lanterns. But people are saying the Lanterns is supposed to be a good structured HBO show. It just doesn't care about the lore. So how will that land? We'll see. With the hardcores, maybe it won't land. Maybe it'll get an HBO audience. We'll see. Right? We'll see. When you start your world with the DCU Creature Commandos, no one watches it. Superman, not a smashing hit. The business world is saying that it wasn't a smashing hit. So all that celebrating, it was really performative. And then even if you did celebrate, it didn't carry over to Peacemaker season 2, because that viewership dropped for season 2 of Peacemaker, and the finale widely panned. Right? It was kind of like Gunn was over promising, under delivering. And then you got bottom 3 Supergirl. That's 4 in a row. 4 losses in a row right there. Lanterns is up next. Hope has to rise. Hope has to rise. And that can only mean Snyderverse. That can only mean Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3. Yeah, did I cover that Wonder Woman picture? Yeah, like that first weekend of Supergirl. Yeah, it was like that Monday after it was DOA. And then Zach posts his Wonder Woman like, hey, I'm glad we got representation, for women, for Wonder Woman. I was happy to be a part of it, right? It's like, oh man, Zach, that's kind of odd timing because DC has a woman project kind of failing right now. And then you come in like, hey, we did it right. I'm saying? If you want a female hit, come to Death Row or call Zack Snyder, call Stone Quarry. So Zach ain't slick, man. We picking up Zach. We picking up on him, man. We picking up what you putting down. Haas says, I just want to know what his opening scene in JL2 is so badly, because all his films open, with a scene from the previous one. Oh my goodness. Wouldn't that be something, man? Oh man. I didn't even think about that, right? It's like, because I wasn't like, we knew we got the whole, the BVS opening overlapping with Man of Steel. We're like, okay, this is dope. And he does it again, Snyder Cut, overlapping BVS. So now the end, what could be the moment at the end of Snyder Cut that can overlap? This is what I think. I think we get our lantern in the beginning. And I know we got the old storyboards. I know Zach said he updated the storyboards. But I think we see like something from the scene of the lantern or Martian Manhunter. I don't know if they're like watching. They're probably not watching the final battle, but just something from their standpoint, seeing the Justice League together or something like that. That's what I think. I would say from the standpoint of like a lantern or Martian Manhunter, probably lantern. I think you want to start the film off with that. What we saying in the chat? Come to Death Row. Yeah, Death Row ain't no cowards. Death Row, you know, people stand on their name. Don't do that coward stuff, man. That's how you know social media is not real life. That's why you can't take it too seriously. But I hate cowardly people wants to talk about other people. They're not here. That's really weak. And, you know, that's not manly at all. Kind of Death Row. Let's see. Ooh, maybe this would be better from Darkseid's point of view. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Where he's kind of like watching, it's overlapping and he's seeing Steppenwolf get wrecked or something like that. I don't know. I like that though. I like that idea. That'd be even better than a Lantern opening. Darkseid. I like y'all ideas better. Preview Barry running back in time. What Darkseid's doing, why it's happening. That's the biggest ending that solidifies it. Like another point of view from Flash, or someone seeing Flash, that'd be interesting. Or like Lantern understanding he needs to get involved. That's what I was thinking. Shorty Armada about to leave. Yeah, definitely. That's everybody ain't built for that. You know, this past generation, like people got so beta online. With 10 burner accounts, grown men afraid to say something directly to somebody. Y'all not built the same, man. They ain't built the same out there, man. If I'm gonna say something to somebody, we're gonna be direct. If you're scared, you're scared. All in the videos, begging for attention, desperate. Come to Death Row. My goodness, say something, man. Like don't hide. Can't call you a man. My goodness. But they can't be a Zack Snyder fan. We here trying to celebrate Zack Snyder. So it's a guzzler, glazer, or Netflixer. That's all it is. It's one of the three. Because it all adds up to be kind of the same person. Man up. But last minute comments and questions, throw it in the chat. We're having too much fun. Bonus stream. We talked about the losers of the year. It's one of the three, bro. Guzzler, Glazer, or Netflixer. It's one of the three. It's all the same to me at this point. My goodness. Next, like Gunn's gonna say, is Supergirl not a part of the universe? He probably better say that. No, it's not gonna work. But see, they messed up. And like I said in the chat, last minute comments and questions, throw it in the chat. We're winding down. They messed up. You know, first he hijacked the film, messed up the film. So that's one thing, right? We get that. Then, leading up to the film, they knew the tracking was bad. They pulled the post-credit scene, whatever it was. Had to be connecting something, whatever it was. But then they kept saying, oh, Supergirl, she's a major part in Man of Tomorrow, and we got another film we're going to put her in. And no one came to see Supergirl. You can't market around Supergirl no more. You can't market around that no more. Y'all threw everything in front of her, and no one showed up. It's getting beat by Obsession when you can watch Obsession at home. More people decide to go to the theater still to watch Obsession over Supergirl. Amazing. So it's definitely going digital. Like probably by next weekend at this point. Theaters are already pulling Supergirl. So I'll probably see it on HBO Max next month. Next month we'll do maybe I'll do like a watch party for members. Maybe I'll think of something. I'll see my first viewing of Supergirl. I may just do that. I don't skip too many DC films. This is like since Shazam 2. This is probably the first one I waited to see it at home. So this is a monumental day. Shout out to Hoss. Always a good time. We may have to start doing some night streams. I got to see what nights works the best. Sunday ain't going to always be the best, but if Sundays works, maybe some Sunday night streams. We'll see. It probably has to be Sunday. Now that I think about it, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see about that. The support was there, so I never ignore the support. So we'll see what we got, man. Appreciate you, Hoss, for the super chat.
I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my career. 30 years of my career.
That 30 years sent to everybody right there. That 30 years. Everyone's like, that 30 years really did something. Oh, man. We got Green Lantern on Twitter. I think this is the account. I've been seeing some good tweets from Green Lantern over there on X Twitter, going in on James Gunn, hashtag fire James Gunn. I think I've been seeing your work out there. And Lanterns fans, like, those are the ones, because, you know, growing up, I was more of a Batman fan, Green Arrow, Spider-Man, X-Men. I wasn't a huge Lanterns fans growing up, but I can imagine hardcore Lanterns fans, and this show's coming out, you're thinking the premise could be great, and then you know, you're seeing what's happening with this show, and then you learn about Hal Jordan. That's gotta be rough. It's gotta be rough. Supergirl is a bomb. Lantern's going hated. Is going to be hated. I think you're saying, if Man of Tomorrow doesn't make $800 million, the DCU is over. Yeah, I think Man of Tomorrow has to build on whatever Superman did. And I even say, I think it's over regardless. So that's kind of where I stand with Man of Tomorrow. I don't think it's going to do $1 billion. You're putting in characters in there that, you know, no one supported Supergirl, so she's not going to help this film. Superman 2025 did what, 619? I always thought, hey, 700, they'd be happy. I don't know if they can get that 700. I don't know if they can run it back. I don't know. But I think either way, I think it's over. I think we're going to know before this film even comes out. Paramount would be like, you know, it's been nice. You know, and that's a wrap. Supergirl, it says Ayer's anniversary is next month. We're supposed to get the Ayer cut next month for 10 years anniversary. Yeah. James Gunn came into the door. Like I said, Will Rowlands, if y'all know, it's a guy that actually saw the Ayer cut. This is a real story. I talked to him directly about it. And he put it out there because it was kind of behind the scenes, but he put it out there that he saw the cut. And Ayer vouched for him on Twitter. There's a whole story with that. There was traction for the Ayer cut to come out before Gunn was hired. Gunn was hired. All of a sudden, Gunn told Ayer, you know, I want to get my DCU out here first. Maybe after we get a couple hits, then we can revisit Ayer cut. That was the wrong move. That should have been the first, like we said, the first thing Gunn should have did. Because in this scenario, Black Adam had to fail, right? So Black Adam failed. Okay. You hire Gunn and Safran. What Gunn should have did was go ahead and do Man of Steel 2 with Cavill. And then you could work on your little Elseworld super family over there if you want to do these little super family Creature Commandos type stuff. And let Man of Steel 2 happen, release the Ayer cut, bring in Zack Snyder for Justice League. That's really what he should have did. And he still could have did his side projects because he pitched all these side projects, the Jimmy Olsen, the Creature Commandos, Peacemaker. Gunn was pitching this package before Black Adam came out. And he was going to do these side, you know, just this pocket universe. At that time, Kevin Smith was going to do a Bizarro project. He actually jumped into my mentions around that time. There was a lot going on before Gunn got hired. And so all that was put on pause, you know, when Gunn got hired, right? So, and now it's funny because now Kevin Smith has a Bizarro comic. So he probably put his ideas in comic form. That's interesting, right? But he's going to do a live action Bizarro. So Gunn, so if you had Kevin Smith doing stuff here, James Gunn, you do your little pocket stuff over there. That's what DC was going to do. And then once Black Adam bombed, Gunn comes in and they spin it like it's some kind of reboot, and it really wasn't. It was just a Gunn-verse package. The package plan is what we got. So yeah, we should have had the Ayer cut, man. Let's see. He was an idiot to put Superman and Lobo and Supergirl. No one cares. Don't care about his Superman. Yeah, if you can't pull him and he's in the trailer, because people say, oh, well, Cavill didn't bring people to Black Adam. They didn't know he was in it. Only us that was like online or like, scoopers and stuff. Like, I mean, I knew about it and I was screaming from the from the mountains that Cavill's in this film. I told y'all the scene. But he wasn't in the trailer, and they should have put him like in the third act or sprinkle him in the film. Have a little standoff for Black Adam, then it cuts away or something. Just something, not just leave it to a post credit. So it was mishandled. That was. But at least if people saw Cavill in a trailer for Black Adam, people would have showed up. They wouldn't have ignored it. Gonna do the watch along. I may do that. I may work out something for members. It'll be a way for me to kind of do something to watch along, do a watch along. Y'all gotta do is pop in and watch. And I may just do that. We'll see. We got till I think it'll be next month. Make DC great again. 30 years. Yeah, I can imagine. I feel sorry for the hardcore Lanterns fans. I really feel sorry because, like, man, I mean, I'm a fan of DC. I'm a fan of all this stuff, but I know this hits different when you're waiting for a Lantern, any kind of content. It's been like 15 years since the Ryan Reynolds film, right? And it's been kind of lambasted this whole time. Zach was going to bring Jon Stewart, right? They nixed that. Now you got this show, and it's everything you don't want it to be. I can only imagine, man. I can only imagine. That's rough. Hamada's reincarnated as Gunn is wild. I think it needs to be a serious discussion about how WB fumbled the Aquaman franchise. I agree. Lost out on the potential of $1 billion with Aquaman 2 and 3 combined. Aquaman 2 with no marketing. And it's not a good film, especially after Gunn kind of gutted some stuff out of it, because it was setting up. It was going to connect to the last ride of Snyderverse. That was my Ben Affleck scoop. 4 years ago, people like going back to 4 years. Y'all remember that? Ben Affleck, he already shot the scene. I mean, Momoa confirmed me with that, and that was setting up the last ride of the Snyderverse. All these films were going to connect, and so that was a shame. That got gutted, but that film still made almost like $500 million with no marketing, and the film was pretty much, kind of chopped up. It's a shame. It's a shame. So if you think they would have actually put some effort or allowed the original ending, allowed the tie-ins, Aquaman 2 could have got at least $700 million. But that's a shame. Oh, we got Fernando mad in the chat. Fernando mad in the chat.
Please go out and support it.
Why are you mad? Why are you mad in the chat, Fernando? Are you mad that we didn't support Supergirl?
Please go out and support it.
You like your boy? You like your boy? You mad, Fernando? Let's get a word from James Gunn.
One thing to you.
Yeah.
No. He came in. He waited the entire stream. Oh, you suck. I hate you guys. You didn't support Supergirl. You know what that is? You know what that is, Fernando? It's just grief. That's stage 3. That's anger. That's anger. You probably had some depression. You kind of sliding back. That's all it is, man. It's okay, man. You got Lanterns coming up next, man. Don't be so upset. That's just anger. That's all it is. I hate you. No, I didn't see no obscene comments. No, I didn't see nothing. It must have. I don't know if it got hidden. I didn't see it. Yeah, they're real good at like blocking out like the nonsense. You want us to be hyped for this. That's real anger, man. That's hurtful, Fernando. You come in here and you trying to curse in my chat, man. Come on, man. Come on. Appreciate you, Frieza. Yeah, I didn't see. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, when it's nonsense like that, like I said, I don't mind if they like say stuff. They could claim whatever they want about me. I don't like when they attack other people. I think that's cowardly. So I don't mind him if he's saying, hey, you suck. But saying everyone else here's a joke, no, you're not allowed to do that, Fernando. You're not allowed to do that. Oh man. Why are you mad? Supergirl was garbage. I mean, it's gonna pull it out of half the theaters week 3, bro. Like, you're mad at us. you're mad at us. You should be mad at James Gunn. That's the Gunn cut. He directing his anger towards us. You were saying some weird stuff? Yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Nah, yeah, when it's blocked or they hold it for review, it doesn't get across to me. I mean, I can see if I pull up the whole chat, I can see it, but I don't have that screen open. So, what was he? Can I get an idea? Well, actually, hold on. I can go to the. You hit him, so I wonder. Hold up. I need an example of what this man said before I go. Okay, here we go. No, I just see the shield guy earlier when he was trying to talk about other people. I didn't like that. I don't like that. You can come at me all you want. You're a clown. So I really don't care what clowns say. But you saying Fernando was saying stuff, y'all? I don't see it. Yeah, I didn't get across to me. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what he said. We go ahead. But that's gotta be terrible. Like all this anger, you all pent up. You was trying to send naughty chats on my live stream, bro. That's so disrespectful. And then at the end of it, no one really cares. That's gotta hurt, man. That's gotta hurt. And this dude, I know he's really mad about that.
I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my career. 30 years of my career.
That's why you're mad, Fernando. It's that clip. I know what it is, man. Like I said, we're bringing out everyone. Everyone's coming under secret accounts. And you got Fernando, if that's your real name, trying to send naughty texts. Just like James Gunn. Like, you just, come on, bro. All that filthy stuff, man. Come on. We're here as comic book fans, as DC fans. You bringing that stuff up. Yeah, they wish Supergirl, man, if they can get $400 or $500 million for Supergirl. If they would got $400 million for Supergirl, you talking about a victory lap? Like Zaza would have did like 2 laps. You're like, oh man, because their profit number, as far as what I heard, was 375 to 425. They're not gonna get half of that. Okay, so that's why they mad. That's why they mad.
I'm fighting for my life.
That's why they mad. Because like we're laughing at the failure, and they're like, we're supposed to care. You're not real DC fans. Nah. We're the real DC fans. We told y'all what was popping, and we tell y'all what's not. This was not. And you can't be mad about that. It did the numbers it did. That's why Fernando's mad. Okay. Yeah, Fernando, don't come here with all this curse words and stuff, but whatever you were saying, I don't even want to know what you were saying. It's not helping your film. He did everything but defend Supergirl. And he waited till the end, right? Let's say we had a couple cowards. Look, they coming out, bro. They coming out. We gotta go, bro. We gotta go. We're bringing them out the woodwork right now. We got Maria. We got Maria in the chat.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
That's Maria. Oh no. I know it say Maria in the chat.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
Look, Maria's is probably Fernando on a different account. Oh my god. Maria in the chat. We was waiting for Maria to show up. She just good. 2 hours in, she was like, I can't take this. Fernando, I think this is Fernando. Oh, let's see. What'd you say? What'd you say here? Woo. Y'all just some Glazers. That's it. Oh, we're the Glazers. No, you know, we're not taking y'all term. You're the Glazer. What are you talking about? It don't even sound right. Gunn Glazers. That Snyder Glazers. They don't sound. They don't roll off the tongue. Fernando, Maria. I gotta keep these accounts together. Okay. That's it. James Gunn is Sully in the head of the DCU. Clayface and Man Tomorrow is still going to come out. No one says it's not coming out, Maria. Yes, these are coming out. No one's arguing this. You and your coat will still be getting on your knees for Zach. You shouldn't worry about things like that. Don't worry about Zach. You're in a burning house right now. Why are you worried? Why are you bringing up Zach? This has nothing to do with Zach. This has nothing to do with Oh, man. Yeah, if y'all had this much energy spreading the word for Supergirl, it wouldn't be getting pulled out of half the theaters in under 20 days. Like, what is your energy? It shouldn't be against us. That's how I know it's grief. Anger. It's anger right now. And it's okay. Well, kind of Maria kind of, she's like, oh, and this still coming out and this and that. So it's a little denial, actually. You're kind of still in denial right there, Maria, but that is what it is, man. It's always a pleasure when the Maria account shows up. I'm going to call you the Maria account. Shave, hit the gym, buy some presentable clothes. Over this movie, over a movie. You ugly. You need to lose some weight. I hate your clothes. Hate your shoes. Your shirts. That's anger, Maria. You know what's going to happen? The stream's going to end. I'm going to go to my wonderful life here in Kentucky, and Supergirl's still going to fail. So it's like, what? I'm not going to shave. I'm not going to hit the gym. I feel pretty good right now. You mad over a movie that hard? Oh man, what is it? You could have unfollowed, stopped watching a year ago. For real, like, hey, it's that anger. I get it, man. That's personal right there, Maria. that was personal right there. That no one hit me that hard before. I'm serious, Maria. That was like the biggest zinger I ever received in 6 years. It was like, yo, you ugly, bro. You need to go. You gotta go to the gym. You've been holding that in for like a year. This is what you think about me, Maria. Oh, Fernando. Oh my God, man. They ain't talking about the movie. They ain't talking about nothing. It's funny because these Gunn Glazers automatically assume anyone who dislikes the DCU is a disgruntled Snyder fan. Reality, the DCU just sucks. It's more than just Snyder fans. It really is. And the sooner they realize that, you know, they can get to that stage 5. See, I'm trying to help y'all through grief. I know I probably ain't the right person to help, you know, the Glazers and Glazers, but you got to get to stage 5, acceptance. Oh, that movie was trash. Okay. everybody doesn't like James Gunn. Once you get to acceptance, I promise it'll set you free. It'll set you. You won't be worried about my looks or anything. I mean, she's like, dang, I felt like a Kendrick Lamar diss at me. She's like, you ugly, you got to shave, your clothes suck, your shoes suck, you can't get women. Like, just all personal jabs over a movie. Because I don't like the movie you like. You just totally just decimated me. And you talk like a dude. You type like a dude, Maria. Like, I'm just letting you know, phonetically, you type like a dude. Oh man. I was trying to close this down. Maria just came in, guns blazing. Woo. Oh, goodness. Let's see. What 2026 isn't over yet. There's still one movie scheduled, Clayface, and the outcome which remains unknown. I don't know what you're answering to, but I don't want Maria to go. Yes, like Maria, like we don't want you to go. That was very personal though, Maria. I can't look at you the same way after just destroying me like that. like man, I gotta go tell my family, like, man, look at this comment. She destroyed me, or he, them. Like, man, I probably got a family member watching right now. They're gonna text me like, Sil, you just got roasted. Oh my goodness. Okay, I gotta eat my dinner, man. I'm not going to work. I'm gonna go eat. That's what I'm about to do. Oh man. Let's catch up with the check. I gotta get out of here. Oh, I never been roasted that hard, y'all. I really haven't. Woo-wee. Still not deserving. Look, your shirt, your glasses whack. It don't fit your big head. Like, she just went all the way here, bro. You're in your mama's basement. That's gonna come next. Your mama's basement. You ain't got a job. Go get a job, bro. Girls don't like you. This is everything. Oh man, that's fun, man. That's why I say I don't mind the trolls. Y'all can say whatever y'all want about me, man. I promise you. Just don't go at other people like that other shield, which probably could have been Fernando under another account, who's Maria. Don't go at other people. But I love it. Bring your zingers, man. Because if I ever get a picture of you, bro, so you better keep hiding. You better keep hiding behind these accounts. Woo-wee. Let's see. Let's close this down. You twisted your girls off. You're broke. Kid ain't yours. Everybody knows. Exactly. Oh man, Fernando Maria. Yeah, I suspected that for months. That's I've been playing with them for months. But when you come personally like that, I gotta out you. I hold my tongue on a lot of stuff, but like, man, like you bad. That was a bar. Did you give me like this? I had to clip that. Like, yo, this what the streets think? Sylabdul. I gotta get out of here, y'all. This is too much. Hey, Sunday nights may just be a thing, man. I used to do the late show, sports show with Carlos. I can't do those late shows anymore, but I can do like an early evening geek show. And so hey, Sundays may be a thing. We'll see. I can't promise you much because y'all know my schedule. I gotta go work out, and stuff. So I gotta go find a girl. According to Maria. Go shave. Like that one dude, that Sheila guy, he was mad that I had a beard. I'm like, oh, so obviously you're someone with a beard and you're upset. I already know who that is. I'll out them another time. But this is fun. Much love to Syl Nation. Shout out to y'all supporting the weekly show stream. And I think that's what I'll do. This is what I would do. I'm going to put this just like as a plan for the future. Yeah, I got to shave. I don't like you. I got a beard and you got a beard. I don't like that. But if I could do my full Saturday show, because I had to cut it short, it could only be one beard. if I do my full Saturday show, then I won't do a Sunday night show. But if I got to condense my Saturday show, it depends on work, you know, 'cause I do have a job. I do have a job. And so I need a new wardrobe, glasses, y'all. According to Fernando, Maria. If I got to condense my Saturday show, it'd be like a power hour. Then I'll come back with a Sunday night stream. So we'll see. We'll just kind of see how the schedule goes. But if I do the full Saturday stream, that's going to be like 3-4 hours. I might have to rest the day after that. Beard of Steel. I want to clip these disses, man. This is amazing. Much love to Seal Nation. Much love to the real DC fans, Snyder fans, and much detriment to the Gunn Glazers and Guzzlers. Y'all deserve this universe to fail to the point where y'all jumping in this chat, mad at everything else but your whack movies. But you got to next year, maybe the end of this year. We shall see. We out of here, man.
Watchmen forever vigilant, steady watching and listening, disciplined, militant, killing these dudes that started visiting. What's the latest word, yo, still we need to know. Tell us what you heard, yo, still we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in, we need to know. Your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One hell of a show, let's go.